Hello, dear students. Today we shall read and study the new poem, another poem that has been prescribed in your syllabus for you. That is On His Blindness, written by John Milton. This is a beautiful poem. It is a sonnet. And about sonnet, I have already explained you when we did or explained or read the sonnets written by William Shakespeare. Although John Milton's sonnets are different from Shakespearean's sonnet, the structure, the rhyming scheme of John Milton's sonnet is very much different. Before we go about the structure and the rhyme scheme of this sonnet, let us first go with the little introduction about the poet John Milton, about his life, about his works, about his popularity. And then, in our next lecture, we shall read the poem, the sonnet on his blindness, and try to know the idea or the thought of the sonnet. So, let's see. John Milton was born on December 9, 1608, in London, and he died November 8, 1674. That is, he lived for 66 years. He is an English poet, pamphleteer, historian, and considered the most important and significant English writer, author, poet after William Shakespeare. He is best known for Paradise Lost, which is widely regarded as the greatest epic poem in English. So, I hope if you have heard the name or the title or the name of the epic, that is Paradise Lost, written by Milton. It's a great epic, very famous epic, great epic poem, just like we have Ramcharitamanas and Mahabharata. The same way. And then Milton also known for Paradise Regained that he wrote, and Samson Agnostics. These are the famous works done by John Milton, and for them he is well known. And these epics confirms his reputation as one of the greatest English poets. After William Shakespeare, we must know John Milton next to Shakespeare. So far his prose work is concerned, he advocated the abolition of Church of England. So he didn't like the existence of church, he was against the church, and the execution of Charles I. And he was also in favor of the execution of Charles I when the Civil War in England took place. The Civil War, in fact, started from 1642 and ended in 1649 when Cromwell, who was the pioneer of that bloodshed, he became the king of England and he remained on the throne of England up to 1660, from 1649 to 1660. So that period of 12 years is known as the Commonwealth period. And Milton was favor of the Commonwealth kingdom, Commonwealth reign. And he was in favor of Cromwell, in fact. So Charles I was executed by Cromwell and Milton favored that. This is what here he means to say. From the beginning of the English Civil War, as I told you, 1642, to long after the restoration of Charles. So, after 1660, then the period came, was known as Restoration period. So, restoration of the kingdom, restoration of the king again. And Charles II was the king of England then. So, he espoused in all his works a political philosophy that opposed tyranny and state sanctioned religion. So, he didn't believe in state sanctioned religion. Milton did not like that. Milton wanted that religion should be separate from the state. There is no religion of state. It means he was against the Church of England. He was against that tyranny and the reign of church. His influence extended not only through the civil wars and interregnum, but also to the American and French revolutions. So, because of his ideas, or his ideas also instigated, motivated the French Revolution as well. In his works on theology, he valued liberty of conscience, the paramount importance of scriptures as a guide in matters of faith and religious toleration toward dissidents. So he favored religious tolerance, that everyone should follow the religion according to his will. He is free. So religious freedom, he was in fact in favor of the religious freedom. And Milton himself was a religious man. He also believed in God. He had a great faith in God. And what we have in this sonnet, the idea, the thought, the theme of the sonnet is in fact is the same, that Milton believed in God, had great faith in God. He was a pagan, we can say, in this sense. As a civil servant, Milton has also worked as a bureaucrat in the Commonwealth reign, or in the reign of Cromwell. He was a diplomat as well. He became the voice of English Commonwealth after 1649 through his handling of international correspondence. So he was in fact the minister of external affairs of England at that time. And then about its education so far concerned, he enrolled at Christ's College, Cambridge in 1625, presumably to be educated for the ministry. So from the very beginning, he was interested in politics, and the education that was given to him was also of the politics. He wanted to become the minister. A year later, he was rusticated or temporarily expelled from that college for a period of time because of a conflict with one of his tutors, the logician William Chappell. So there was some kind of conflict with his tutor, William Chappell. Therefore, he was rusticated from that college for some time. Then again, he reinstated uh, under another tutor, that is Nathaniel Torrey. And in 1629, he was awarded a Bachelor of Arts degree, and in 1632, he received a Master of Arts degree. So, this is how his education took place there, and he was educated. So, despite his initial intent to enter the ministry, Milton did not do so. A situation that has not been fully explained. So, in this way, we have the brief knowledge about his education, about his life, about his career, about his works, about his works. That I he has been also the great writer of sonnet. The sonnet, the one sonnet that we have been going to study. There are some other sonnets which are very famous, like on his 23rd birthday. And one more important thing about his sonnet is that they are autobiographical. They are written about himself. In On His Blindness, he talks about his own blindness. You know that he became blind when he was only 42 years old. And in 1664 or 1662, he became completely blind. And during that blindness, you see, he has written the great epic poem that is the Paradise Lost. So, see the talent, and the talent was inherent in him. It was a gift given by God. So there are some questions which are generally asked. What is John Milton's best known for? That we have already discussed. That he wrote poetry, prose between 1630 to 1674. Famous for his epic poetry. His special collections and archives holds a variety of Milton's major works, including Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, El Allegro, and second Pensaraso. These are the important poems or epics that we have from Milton. And Paradise Lost, we know that one of the most recognized works in English literature. There are 12 books in Paradise Lost. As I told you, in 1652, he became completely blind, and his glaucoma was not treatable, and therefore he was absolutely blind. And he married four times. First in 1642 and 1656, and after 4 years and then he married Catherine Woodcock. 2 years later, she also died after giving birth to a child. Then he tenderly memorialized her in a sonnet, and in 1663 married Elizabeth Minchell fourth time. So he married four times. That is about his marriage. Now we come with the sonnet, where I will give you a little introduction about this sonnet. That is the first line of this sonnet, or the beginning line with which the sonnet starts. That is, when I consider how my light is spent. One of the best known of the sonnets of John Milton. And the last three lines of these sonnets are very important and they are well known. And the last line, which is generally used as a quotation, much quoted, though rarely in context. And what is that? The last line of the sonnet, they also serve who only stand and wait. This is the important, famous quoted line of this sonnet. We will see the meaning of this when we go through the sonnet or with all other lines. Originally, this sonnet published in 1673 and other things we already know. And in this sonnet, John Milton explores his experience with blindness and religious faith. So, blindness is there, religious faith that is also there with him. And he discovers, he, he explores his own experiences, how he feels when he is completely blind. And what is his faith in God, how he believes in God, and to what extent he believes in the God. He went blind working for the English Republic. His service to the government required that he extensively read and write. This caused him to lose his sight. So, because he read and wrote too much, and specifically for the government work, for the ministry, and this caused him the blindness or to lose his eyesight. This is what said. The poem takes, as I told you, the form of a. So, there are two types of sonnets we discussed when we read William Shakespeare's sonnets. Shakespearean sonnet and another one is the classical sonnet, and we can call it also as Petrarchan sonnet, or we can call it also as Miltonic sonnet. So Milton has followed the pattern of Petrarchan sonnet, and these sonnets are traditionally focused on love and romance, but there is difference. Milton sonnet doesn't focus on love and romance, but it subverts this in order to explore his relationship with God. So his sonnets also reflects his faith in religion in God. So in this sonnet he fears that his blindness will prevent him from doing God's work because this is a barrier, and he feels that he will not be able to fulfill the duty that the God has given. That is, he would not be able to complete his task and the task of writing poetry. And then we see in the poem that the patience comes there, and patience gives the poet patience and tells him that even his idleness is useful to God. So he need not to worry about his idleness, about his doing nothing, because God doesn't care all these things. If one continuously has faith in him, in God. So if you have faith in God, then there is no need to bother about the work, about the duties that the God has given and you have not fulfilled them. So this is what we have, the little introduction about the poet, dear friends, and I hope that you will definitely be benefited by this lecture, this video lecture this point, this introduction of the poet. And in our next lecture, we shall explain, we shall try to know, we shall try to comprehend the sonnet on his blindness. Till then, friends, bye bye. Thank you very much. See you.